Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Doujinshi, and welcome back to another episode of Hentai Reviews, the only series with a proud number of 116. Yeah, that changed. Two people left, and now it's down to 114. Wait, let me. God, fucking damn, it's back to 120. I, I'm not even gonna try to keep up with the numbers at this point because they keep rubber banding. I'll let you settle out for a week, but I was gone for 3 days and I came back to, I don't know, 6 more people. Hi, all you new people. Do you like anime titties too? Cool, because that's what we're talking about today. Today we're going to be discussing the final episode of the main running series of Bible Black. A series that hasn't gotten me a ton of views, but it has been an experience being a part of. Now I gotta say, took a long ass break before I came back to the series, mostly because I just didn't feel like coming back to the series. But after finishing it up, this is a pretty good ending, not gonna lie. So, let's go ahead and start. The first of the episode itself runs off with a really long recap. I mean, a really long recap. Like, this bitch is 27 minutes and some change, and the first 6 minutes of it is dedicated to a recap. And it's not even like a full recap of like the story so far, because after this it goes into Black Bible or Bible Black Season 2. I forget the name of it. It's like Bible Black Revelations or something. But still, 6 minutes, and most of it is dedicated to the scenes that have come in the last episode. And wow, just wow, okay? People talk about like Naruto having filler. Jesus fuck, this is nothing but filler. But it's good filler. If you didn't watch the last episode, pretty much just catches you all the way up. The scene itself starts with Minase, the main character, who's gone through this transition of mind control, magic, and fuckery, back into the middle of the entire circle, where Kitame, the blonde girl who pretty much started this whole thing, and was also the bitch in charge of the ritual that's currently going on, so that she can be immortal and live in her new body, that of Imari. Imari is the best friend of Minase, and she, if the ritual starts, her body will be taken over by Kitame, and I'm pretty sure nobody wants that, mostly because dick move to go around stealing bodies, especially if they're dead. I'm a practicing doctor, damn it, I need to know what body parts I need to take off. But regardless of that, it then cuts more further into... There's a little bit of a moral dilemma, as Kitame says, I've taken over a whole bunch of people, and they went over to the house of the red-haired teacher lady, Takashira, and have started using the two women that are over there in a not-so-friendly manner. You can go and help them, because after they're done, they'll kill them. Or you can stay here and continue this ritual-breaking spell that you've started casting. Which one do you prefer? And the man does the mathematical thing and is like, well, if you get magic and your abilities, then you're probably going to do a lot more harm than good. And those people over there will probably have their minds freed and will stop this whole thing if I break the spell. So, like, I don't know what you're threatening me with, but it didn't work. So, yeah, I'm gonna stay here. The first scene starts out at 8 minutes and 40 seconds, and then runs to 10 minutes and 20 seconds. Which I've gotta say, it's very, like, hit or miss in this first scene, because there's really, like, not much going on. But it's okay. It's okay. It's very much like sporadic because this is the final plot and they're trying to like shove an extra scene in there. And gotta admit, it's valiant effort, not necessarily needed. It's mostly just like the ritual itself starting. and some background stuff that's happening to those characters as well, along with Takashiro, who has just run in and is like, "Hey, stop all this!" And then she gets grabbed and used. Sad. But the actual scene itself then continues with Minase being like, "Fuck you, I'm going to end this whole thing right here, right now." And then spell explodes. The ritual destroyed. Everything about it evaporated. The people start to sprint off in different directions as the only people that are left are a bloodied and hurt Kitame on the floor, as Minase is holding the mostly okay, but also completely naked Imari. He says, "It's gonna be okay." And then he looks down at Kitame, who's laying dead and in ruins, and says, "You know, you could have been less of an asshole about this whole thing. We wouldn't have let you done it otherwise. We wouldn't have let you done it still, but you could have also been not a piece of shit about this whole thing." And then Kitame raises her hand up. Dead. Just dies right there. There. In which case they do the whole, like, sleep, prince, and then close their eyes. And then they kind of just head home. And then they continue their day. Like, they just went to school and everybody else went back to their normal jobs. Like, nothing happened. They didn't just watch one of their friends get raped and then also continue on this whole thing as if it were, oh, I don't know. Oh, just like a normal occurrence. Sure, go back to school. Go straight back to school. Get those grades up. But they go back to school, they go through the whole thing, and Minase and Imari are like, "Hey, want to go back to your place?" Which leads to scene number 2. Scene number 2 starts off at around 15 minutes and 40 seconds in, which goes all the way to 7 minutes and 15 seconds in. But then there's a little bit of a brief pause as a little bit of a conversation goes on between the two, leading into kind of an awkward conversation that leads to do with, like, Minase being like, "You know what, I think I'm going to give up on spells. There's really nothing to it anymore." And then Imari says something odd about, "There's this one spell that I've been casting, and I really like using it, so I think I'm going to keep using it." You're like, And then Imari leans over and says, "Hey, do you like butt stuff?" Which leans back into scene number 2, which starts up again which goes all the way to 18 minutes and 30 seconds to 20 minutes and 30 seconds, in which case it finally ends right there. After scene number 2 ends, there's a little bit of an awkwardness as they kind of just stay together for a second, and then Imari decides to leave. Imari stands up and is like, "Alright, I guess I'll just go home now. See ya." She walks off with a strange look in her eye as she starts to make her way back to the school. What should she be doing there? Well, I'll tell you what she's doing. She's going back to where they had built up the entirety of the actual place. Nice, where there was a stone tablet with the signs on it, the original Magic Club in the boiler room as they go down there again, to find the blonde girl who also looks exactly like Imari. I forgot her name because I really haven't seen the show in forever. But the blonde version of her is down there holding the book like, "Ooh, I can't wait to use the magic in this." To which case, Imari walks up behind her and says, "What are you doing?" "Don't touch that book. No one will touch that book." And her eyes flash really quickly as the book magically bursts into fire and dissolves away right there, as the chains around it that have been holding this little Star of David for some reason, even though this is supposed to be around Jesus, and I'm pretty sure Jesus doesn't show up until the New Testament, which I did learn in Sunday school, as that is supposed to be, Star of David is based around Jewish things, which I don't understand how that works, but maybe I'm stupid. Which leans into the blonde version saying, "Oh, what's going on? What are you? Why are you doing this? How did you do that?" And then Imari strips off most of her clothes to be completely naked, except for a single little piece of underwear that slowly starts to bulge in shape as it grows a peen. Just a whole ass peen. And then you start to realize, fuck, the ritual worked. They transferred bodies. Which leads into scene number 3 as this blonde version of her starts to hook up with the first one. Scene number 3 itself starting at 23 minutes and 5 seconds into 25 minutes and 35 seconds as the entire series ends right there. With the shocked notion of this man's friend has been transferred, has had her mind completely erased and transferred over with the soul of the evil woman from before. What will happen next? Who is going to have sex? What is going to happen on either side of both of these moral dilemmas on which one is going to work out? Find out next time on the next episode of Dragon Ball. I don't know where I was going with this joke. This was a very long one, though. So, that was the final episode of Black Bible, or Bible Black, before we get into the actual sequel series, which is very short as well, and doesn't have a, filler scene, a filler 2 episodes to explain backstory. But, nonetheless, let's go ahead and get into the final reviews of the whole thing, which I'm going to do in one fell swoop, because there's really not anything else you can do for it, since I've done all the other 5 episodes. What can I say that I haven't said before? The show's damn good. But it is actually, entertaining to watch because there is plot that's going on that's more complex than you think, and you're willing to follow it because they put effort into it. Animation, superb the whole time, especially in the last bits of it where there's really just movement and, physical feeling to the way that parts of the body move during certain scenes that is just great. The scenes themselves as well. Not my personal pick for the tags that are in them, but damn if they don't look good. Fuck. Okay, yeah, they look great for what they are, and woo! Amazing. If I could say anything about the show, that there is a little bit of age to it, and there is a little bit more heavier plot usage. But if it ain't an entertaining plot, I would say that this show, overall, across the board, the first season is a solid 8 out of 10 across the board. There's no real dips in it, other than some, less than solid episodes that pretty much rely on very heavy fetish fuel. But other than that, this is a solid series that I feel like a lot of people who are more seasoned would enjoy. Let me just put it this way. If you enjoyed Hellsing Ultimate, you'd probably enjoy this. I don't know why, but you would. So, let's go ahead and end it there. I'm currently running on the high of finding out that I have 120 fucking subscribers. I did not think I would get this far. I didn't know I could get this far, and damn if I ain't surprised that I got this far. But I'm going to save the bragging so I don't run this video any longer. Just to let you know, each and every new one of you, thank you. Each and every old one of you, thank you. All the people that are intermediate and don't watch any of the videos because they're bored, thank you. Anybody who's new, thank you for being here, and subscribe if you want to see more of these. I do them all the time. It's not very consistent, but I still do them. And I think that's where I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you all for being here. This has been a fun time for everybody involved. And just remember, have a nice day. Don't be a dick. There's too many of them. And wash your fucking hands. I've been the Doctor. Peace.